again, a rather easy level for the build. It is surprising how well the build performs, considering that I have no epics and only the legendaries I carded. The only one I got was Pious Strikes. Let's see. Yeah, I only got Pious Strikes, which is useless anyways. So literally only using common talents. My gear, I guess, is pretty good, but you can reach super high power levels and super high, well, super high, around 1,000 manastorm. You can comfortably, efficiently push manastorm with the build.
What follows is a brief construction montage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're doing great. Today, I wanted to share with you one of the craziest builds I've encountered, simply in terms of how much utility it can bring to your, stack of specializations. I feel everybody that's playing the game should have at least 3 specs. I think the game is designed that way. You should have a main spec, a spec to push Mana Storm with, and a spec to farm scrolls with. Once again, in Mana Storm. So today I wanted to make a video about the last thing I was missing on my channel, how to find this nice spec to push Mana Storm with. And for that, the recommendation I have for you is really nuts. Credit to Critical Miss for sharing some build ideas. I think there are a couple of YouTubers that came out with this build combination as well. I just want to show you how effective it is because I just dinged 60 on it. I invested maybe, I don't know, 100, 200k marks, nothing big, and it's able to push better than my warrior build that's doing 46k single target. Why? Because I think it is the exact perfect combination of offense and defense that you can get in a build. It is simply amazing. Alrighty, going right into it, you're playing one with the light, an insanely good talent that you can get for free. The main defensive source is Crimson Defense. This allows you to consume stacks that you gain from blocking, and mostly you want to consume that on Power Word Shield or Shield of Righteousness. When you Shield of Righteousness, you do a lot more AoE damage, but when you Power Word Shield, you get 30% damage reduction for 5 seconds. Weakened Soul lasts for 15 seconds. So basically, you get 40% damage reduction with a 33% uptime. That is really high value. In order to block, obviously, you would want to play Hoplite Training. It allows you to wear both a polyarm and a shield, and as we will see in the gear section, there's a very cool polyarm, Flame Wrath. Consecrated Strikes goes with the Paladin build. Consecrated Weapon goes with Consecrated Strikes. I feel it is very good. It was recommended. It procs Seal of Command twice, which is your main seal. However, if you're purely going for pushing Mana Storm, I actually recommend Corrupted Maelstrom Weapon. The reason being is because Pure Chaos Bolt scales with holy damage, and you can get the Soul Leech talent, which heals you for an insane amount of time. As you're just doing melee abilities, you can just dish out some Pure Chaos Bolts that one heal you and do another damage that is modified by your modifiers. And the last talent, which is the hidden juice of the spec, is Divine Blade Master. You want as many of the Blade Masters as possible to further buff this. But this one, what it does is after you parry, your Divine Storm increases your armor, cool, and your holy spell damage by 200% of your strength. At the moment, I am at a bit over 500 strength, so it gives me 1,000 holy spell power. It essentially doubles, more than doubles, my holy spell power. It is absolutely clutch. For abilities, I went Fel Infused Weapon, though maybe you could go Flame Tongue. I actually think Flame Tongue could be better because it gives even more spell damage for your one with the Light, Divine Storm, and Crusader Strike stacking. Crimson Champion, absolutely necessary to get block chance and also to have sustained damage. Seal of Command must play on any Paladin spec. Power Word Shield to interact with the legendary that we have there. Now that I think about it, instead of Fel Infused, you could probably go Pure Chaos Bolt, and instead of Consecrated Weapon, you should go Corrupted Maelstrom Weapon, if you're using it only for pushing. If you also want to tank with it, that's of course great. Now, for the actual breakdown of the build and how it works, the main philosophy, at least the one that was shared with me and the one that I have been going for, is to try to balance 50-50 between damage and damage reduction. So what that ends up meaning is you try to go for the highest value defensive talents and for the highest value offensive talents that are available to you. Let's focus on that 1 second and see what I hit. Pious Strikes It is nice. I also hit Avenger's Shield, but it does not do that much damage. Maybe there are some Avenger's Shield modifiers I could be looking for. Ignite I keep because I hit Lava Sweep. That is how I pump some AoE if I need it in Manastorm. We're also going to have a little playthrough while I'm talking so you guys can see what I'm thinking about. Okay, for abilities, if you're pushing Manastorm, I really recommend taking as many buffs as you can. This is why I keep Fort. Even Arcane Intellect gives me more spell power, so more healing. Mark of the Wild, that is armor and stats, very nice. I'm missing Battle Shout / Blessing of Might, both of those. Either of those would be really nice. Summon Felguard I kept for, there's a 5% damage reduction talent. Master Demonologist with the Felguard or with the Enslaved Demon. You could start with the carded Enslaved Demon. Divine Shield immune. And mainly you just want defensives and more utility. For the gear and Mystic Enchants. Well, Mystic Enchants, I went Seals of the Pure to do more Seal of Command damage, which tends to be your top. Sanctity of Battle for more single target and AoE with Crusader Strike, Divine Storm. This RE is extremely clutch, increases the crit chance of Divine Storm, but also increases its healing done. And here you can see it is often my top healing, even above the Manastorm Potion or Shield of Righteousness healing. I then went Holy Power 2% holy damage, Crusade 2% holy crit, Strength and Faith 1% holy damage, and 1% physical. You don't do that much physical, but I couldn't think of anything better. I took hit REs because I do need some hit. And lastly, for the World Forged one, I actually went Primal Shield of the Righteousness. Not only does it heal you, but the amount is rather like negligible. 2% healing, so okay, we don't really take it for the healing, but the primary stat increased by 18 gives you 60 more strength, which in turn gives you 120 more holy spell power because of the Divine Blade Master that we discussed earlier. Alright, so now I'm just gonna do some Mana Storm and talk you guys through it and what I'm thinking about. As you go in, let's start the timer as well. Pop your speed, pop all your buffs again. And is this all we have? I think so. And with this build, you want to balance two things mainly. How fast you can kill the boss, and that will depend on how much you have to heal yourself versus how much damage you can do to the boss. You want to manage your defensives well. I am using the Power Word Shield defensives. I have Ghostly Strike and a couple more. And heal yourself as necessary. When the affixes start spawning, there are also probably hearts around. So you can start looking for those. If you feel like the pack is too large, you can start thinning it out. I should Divine Shield here. It is rather hard to talk while I'm doing all of this, looking for hearts and everything. And besides that, if you are fine, once you feel like you're fine with the mobs, you're in a fine spot, you can go focus fully on the boss. If the boss needs to move, there I press Blood of Silence and the boss follows me around. If there's too many affixes around the boss, you might want to reposition it. You can do that with Flesh Hook, you can do that with double kick, you can sometimes do that with single kick. The boss is about to die. 1 minute 20 seconds for a pretty easy level, but the difficulty of levels or the speed of levels will not really be based on the length you have to travel, rather the amount of mobs that you have to deal with before you can finally have the privilege of nuking the boss. Here I feel it's a comfortable amount of mobs, so I just went straight for the boss. I have my defensives again. These mobs are kinda wanking, so it will be rather easy. I come back to you guys when there is a more difficult part. Once again, a rather easy level for the build. It is surprising how well the build performs, considering that I have no epics and only the legendaries I carded. The only one I got was Pious Strikes. Let's see. Yeah, I only got Pious Strikes, which is useless anyways. So literally only using common talents. My gear, I guess, is pretty good. But you can reach super high power levels and super high, around 1000 Mana Storm. You can comfortably, efficiently push Mana Storm with the build. Okay, here it looks like there's going to be a bunch of mobs on us once they all stack. So my plan is to start doing damage to the boss before they come to me. And as I see them coming, slowly ramp up more and more defensives that I'm using. Right now I'm just trying to get to the boss. I did not roll any mobility, I'm simply using the double speed in case the last level was a short level trick. Okay, we're at the boss. I use Curse of Elements, start thinning out the mobs. It looks like they're coming in hot to pop 2 defensives. I think that is a good amount to start with. As I am CC'd, I try to look for the debuffs for the CC duration if I can spot it, or if I'm low health I just use escape straight up. If there's a lot more pressure, I also use the motion lotion to prevent further stuns. It looks like I'm in a bit of trouble, so I Divine Shield to pick up some hearts. This level tends to be quite difficult as the mobs pile up. I'm not exactly sure, it just feels like they're stacked. And Marisa does not want to move. I will kick her once I feel we have too many affixes going on, but at the moment I'm okay. Okay, I'm gonna kick her and move, pick up some hearts. She does not want to move. This bug does happen sometimes. But something else you can do is you can pull the mobs slightly away when they're low and kill them so they spawn the affixes a bit further away from the boss. See, there in that Divine Storm, most mobs died. I guess on top of the boss. It so happens.
It's still recharging. I can't.
I think I'm gonna stop here, boys. 20 minutes on the clock. Level 900. I think we started 876. So 24 levels in 20 minutes. That is pretty decent, I would say. We got, in 20 minutes, it was on the clock, 40k marks. I would say that is a really, really insane amount. It is the first time bonus, yes. So 40k marks. We started at 40 scrolls. Now we are at 57. So 17 scrolls, nearly a scroll per level. And also some bonus scrolls. 17, 18, 19, 20. So 1 scroll per minute. Once again, really good efficiency. Normally you get less than 1 scroll per minute. I think you get 40 scrolls per hour from farming 1 to 51. Thank you, sir. Um, and lastly, you get very, very, very nice items. Let's see what we get. I am basically farming for mythic BWL items and mythic or ascended Deathbringer, but it looks like not today. You do, however, get mythic set pieces. So that's very nice. And also mythic tier 2 set pieces. That is also very good. This could have been a Deathbringer. It would have been way nicer. But maybe in the next push. Thank you guys for watching. If you have tips on how to improve the build, I will have a little layout on the spreadsheet, but it is very tentative. So if you have really sick talents that you highly, highly recommend to be put in this build, let me know and I will keep it updated. Have a nice day, lads.